Imagine this point's not there. I want to be able to ream this out so that I can put a foreshaft instead of a glued in point. Now, this is my fishing, one of my fishing arrows. This glue, it's not traditional. It's E6000. I use it for hunting and fishing because it's salt. You have to break the point, and this still don't come out. So it's a little more, to me, ethical to make sure that it's going to last. I've used this arrow probably 15 times. Shot some carp and some suckerfish, and I made fertilizer for the garden out of the carp, and I smoked the suckerfish, and they're pretty good that way. I learned that when I was in Michigan. Smoked suckerfish. I never even heard of eating them before that, and that was a rather interesting place, Michigan. So basically here, what the plan is, put my glove on because I'm going to be probably trying not to get cut. I like this new setup I got. It's there's nothing in my way, and I can see what is in the camera. So I like it a lot. I think the film I made yesterday was way better than any I've made before. So what I'm going to basically do is I'm going to trim this down with the indirect, hitting straight down, because I want one side to be beveled this way, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I want one side to be beveled that way. But first I have to get this chalky stuff off, and I have to thin it down. So that's what I'm going to do. I got the indirect that I credit Jack Crafty with. He, you know, I saw him using it, and I started using it, and it's been pretty good for me. You still break stuff and things like that, but you know, it's stone. You know, it's not going to be a perfect kind of thing. Now you can't see, but what I'm doing is if this is the hitter, I'm tilting this real high because I just want the flakes to. I don't want them to spread. I just want them to shorten. You know, to narrow this down, and then I'm going to pressure flake some. I'm probably not going to record the whole pressure flaking deal, but I'm going to record all the indirect percussion and setting up and getting this chalk off. Now, it was, like I said, yesterday I was bare feet. Today I'm still in my late night pajama shorts, and because it is kind of late, you know, everybody went to sleep. I try to spend as much time as I can with my family and my grandson. He busted in on a video the other night, which I ended up not posting because I broke the piece that I was making. I love it when he comes in. He's not really into Flintknapping yet. I'm hoping he, you know, snaps out of that. You know, he likes the stuff I make, the knives, and you know, he plays with all that stuff. You know, he has the basics of making a fire. I made a video. There's a video on my channel of him making a fire, and he has the basic knowledge of friction fire. He hasn't done it yet, and I haven't been able to show him because I'm way out. I only have done it a few times, and I just, you know, everything's got to be right for that, in my opinion. Now, some guys, I had a buddy named Bert. He could start a friction fire. See, now this is how I want my edge to end up, so that it's when I turn it counterclockwise, it digs out. So you see I have to have one beveled on this side and then this one beveled that way. So and I have to have it taper down to not really a point, but a very small tip. See how much of this chalk I can take off right here. I got a good bit there. Now, I might end up just eating this whole side out because I kind of like that thickness. And it's only got to be this wide. So, I'm going to work on that now. I'm going to have to oh, I'm supposed to be working this. Yeah, well, I'm going to have to turn it over anyway, so. I've tried to make reamers a few times. Haven't been very successful. I mean, I could make the short ones. But, you know, the guys that make the drills, I got a buddy over in Ohio. He makes them, and they're like friggin' perfect. I don't know if he spends 3 days pressure flaking them or what, but Matthew George, he's awesome at the drills. I have some from a point trade with him in my collection. So this is basically straight down because you see this face is already slanted. So I'm going to go a good ways until I get right here, and then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to take this chalk off, and then I'm probably just going to pressure flake the rest to end up with the reamer. Now you can always make one out of steel. Old saw blade. I mean, I'll probably make one of them too, just for, you know, expeditionary purposes. And I might even show that. I'm going to have a video also pretty soon of recovering gold and silver from some scrap. I don't know how many of you will be interested in that, but that's a thing I do. I know it's not really a stick or a stone, but it's interesting. And, you know, it's surprising. Like, if I would have known all the places I could have got silver and gold and palladium when I started working, I would be retired right now, because palladium used to be everywhere because it was the cheap precious metal. Besides silver, it was silver then palladium, and they used to use it in relays and stuff like that because it would last longer. It made the relays cost more, but, you know, compared to having a serviceman come out and change things all the time, you know, is worth it. This is raw flint, by the way. Texas amoeba. As soon as I get some extra money, I'm going to get some Georgetown, but I don't have the funds for that right now. Life, you know. I never thought that flake came off, and it did. But this indirect has really saved me because of the arthritis in my fingers. Like, I wouldn't be able to nap if or I could, but I would only be able to make really crude stuff. Which, surprisingly, is mostly what I make anyway. Make stuff to use. Use it or lose it, they say. For a while there, when I learned this method from Jack Crafty's channel, I was napping so much. I went over to Flint Ridge. I got hundreds of pounds of flint. Learned how to cook it. Built my own cooker out of a slow cooker. A junk slow cooker I found on the side of the road. I built a cooker out of it. Put a computer controller on it. Made it work awesomely. And now you see, that's long enough so that it'll be deep enough. And I just want to get a little more. Take some over here. See, long and narrow. Long and narrow is hard. How's that song go? Or don't ask me how I did it. I just did it. It was hard. Now you see, I got it pretty even in thickness, which is good. Even in wide width. So now I could almost just pressure flake the rest, which I might end up doing because I don't want to break it. I don't know if I should video the pressure flaking or not. It's kind of boring. It's boring for me. It's probably most likely boring for you. But the video is only 13 minutes, so I could probably do a little bit more. I just don't want to end up breaking it, because then I'll just prove everybody right that I don't know how to nap and I suck. Yeah. Everybody's always worried about what they can do or better than somebody else, when they ought to just be having fun. If you're hunting to live or whatever, you need to use a steel point. You need to be, using equipment that you can shoot more than, a few yards further than I can shoot anyways. I've been practicing, but I was out of shooting for so long. I barely can, I can be consistent at 8 yards, which realistically is probably good enough for me. I'm pretty good at camouflage and sitting still, and the discipline of not looking around, trying to hunt the whole forest at one time. That's the mistake a lot of guys make. They hear a noise behind them. They turn around to look. Oh, is that the deer? The odds are, if the deer's behind you, you're not getting a shot. If you're gun hunting, yeah, okay, yes, you can do that with the gun. But And maybe with a modern bow, because you can shoot, you know, I used to shoot compound, target shoot, and, you know, 70 yards, I was dead on. I never tried an animal at 70 yards because they can just move too randomly. But the bows they have nowadays, they're shooting, you know, my compound used to shoot, I want to say 180, 190, something like that. And but now, you know, they got modern bows. They shoot 300. You know, I can't imagine shooting a 300 foot per second arrow. Will seem almost like a gun. Not saying it's a gun. Not calling anybody out or putting down their choice of hunting implements. So don't panic, guys. I'm not a judgmental, you know, judgmental hunter. Oh, got my feathers from my previous video there. But I'm not judging anyone. You know, judge not, lest ye be judged. I don't know how many subs that'll cost me, but I'm not really trying to monetize anyways. The only reason I even think about it is because YouTube puts so many ads on my channel. I had one video that kind of, I wouldn't say went viral, but it had a lot of views. It got a lot of views, okay? And that video, can you see? From here on out, it's kind of boring because it's the right thickness, it's the right shape. It's just straight down, turn it over, straight down, turn it over, straight down until it's the perfect shape. Now I do got this hump I want to deal with, but I'm going to wait until I get a little closer. Yeah, I would I have to get a taper going though, so I don't lose my place. Now, I'm going to use my caliper if I can find it. I sort my stuff out, and then the next day, I mess it all up, and I can't find anything. This is like, that's my life. But anyways, what I'm going to set on here is 3/16, because that's what I want to start at. And then once I get that start point, I'm going to set it to 3/8, and then I'm just going to connect the dots. If you want to know how to do it, in case I don't video the whole time. Like I said, it's kind of boring doing this for me. And I hope I'm making it exciting with my talk. But and hey, do me a favor, you know, comment and like the video, you know, or, you know, I hate to say, but even dislike. If you dislike, dislike it. And, you know, and if you do dislike, please, you know, tell me how to make it better. Or, you know, what you didn't like. If you just think I'm stupid, stupid hillbilly or something, I got big shoulders, guys. I can take it. And I always want to improve. Recorded all this, and hopefully the the internet is, like they say, never going away. Because this will be something that my great grandkids can look back and say, yeah, Pappy did that. He was pretty good with his hands. And that would make me the happiest guy if someday my great grandchildren can go on YouTube and search back and know sticks and stones and say, yep, that's my Pappy. And that would be a pretty good deal. I'm going to do the wrapping the arrows, the feathers onto the arrow, probably tomorrow, because I'm going to paint the shafts tonight. And they're going to take a long time to dry because it's like 50 degrees for real. I can't believe that it was so hot. And then today, it's 50 degrees. Oh, there was a big spider, but he got away. See, now this is going to turn by hand. It's going to be counterclockwise. See how wide I am. I've probably still got a ways to go. Oh yeah, that's how thick I got to be up here. So we'll just keep going. Now, I'm not trying for no number 7 Morse taper. If any of you are machinists, you'll know about them Morse tapers. Once I get closer to size, I'm going to measure the thickness. I mean, this looks the right thickness to me, but I'm going to measure, and if it has to be thinned, I will thin it a little with pressure. See, I got that side straight, and so it'll be usable the whole way. Yeah, let's straighten this side. Now, the reason I'm pushing straight down is I want this blade to be at an angle like that so that it scrapes and doesn't flake off the edge. That's the most important thing. And I gotta sharpen my tool. Stupid daddy longlegger. You're going to hear some noise. That's a knife sharpener. Here, I'll show you. In case you ever want to get something. This is a knife sharpener. it sucks as a knife sharpener, but it's really good at being a power file. So there's my recommendation. Sucks as a knife sharpener, but it's good as a file. Sander and stuff, you know, you can get grits all the way from 36 to 6,000. Yeah, there we go. Getting a Let me know how you like this new angle, this new setup. I like it, because knapping used to be so hard. Okay, it's 3/16, a little under 3/16 thick. So if it's square, rhomboid, it's going to be the right. Let me see what I got here. I might make this a point. Right there, I'm just under. So I'm going to work on that tip a little bit more. I might actually just go ahead and make it a point, so it'll start easier. There's my tip of my tip, my reamer. Now I just have to evenly taper it all the way out to the end. "28 minutes. And I like this deal too because I can pressure flake and nothing's in my pressure flaking way, and you can see, I mean, at least when Alright guys, I plucked out an arrow shaft. You can see this one says 300, where you at? 345 grains. That's just the shaft. And I got my reamer done. So this is just a little video to show you how it works. Just put it in there, twist it around. I'm going to add this on to the end of the video making the reamer. And my whole point here is to make an even shoulder so that it's not a sharp edge for my inserts. See, I have a couple of inches, but I just need to be able to taper the end for the shaft inserts so they'll just stay in there. And it's making pretty quick work of it. And when I get to the width of the arrow, which I'm just about at, you can see, I'm going to go just a little bit more. Now look at that, guys. Perfect. Nice rough to glue to. And my my insert could be tapered like this and then straight to sit against this node. And it will be it'll be in, you know, Half of it tapered, half of it just straight to the node. So, there we go. Works nice, guys. Nice, works nice. Could even mount it backwards for a small game point. There we go. Alright, just a quick video. I made a video making this reamer for my arrow shafts. And I had a quick thought. I said, why don't I put it in a handle? It'll be easier to use. And I split the wood. I thought, I'll split the wood, put it in there, glue it in, and then tie it. But then I said, let's just tie it and wedge a sharp flake in the back. And this is going to be hard to show, but so I can scrape the foreshaft and then ream the arrow and put it in. I'll make a video better on that tomorrow, but that's what I got.